Well, hello there, Chick Chat. We are back
Hey.
with Match Me Abroad episode 6, and we're doing a little earlier today than usual. We usually do this on Fridays, but since I'm going on vacation, we are doing it today. So, happy Thursday.
Yes, we won't be seeing you this weekend, but we
We
will
will
be
not.
back.
And you will have to wait till at least next week for some Jersey Shore. So,
Yes.
yes. So, welcome. We're going to start with, does it start with Monica?
Yes, it does start with Monica.
Yes, Monica. Oh, yeah, it starts with that scene of her in the window, like stretching and like the worst angle of her ever with the worst wedgie
That's
ever.
a full wedgie. Yeah.
That was horrible.
I know. And there was another angle that did not show her wedgie. If you're going to show her in the window, at least show the angle that doesn't show the full wedgie, the full wedge.
It got me so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, the way they're doing Monica right now is just horrendous. But
I know.
she was getting ready to meet with Bruno. She's super conflicted because she's all in on Bernardo. Oh my god, these guys' names are just like so similar. But
I'm waiting for her to mismatch.
well, she's actually pretty honest with them. So I will say at least she's like upfront, but we'll get to that. She's getting ready, but she's very conflicted because she's been texting Bernardo this whole time, which I didn't realize she was like that deep, which once you're that deep, oof.
Well, I feel like, once you have a date, if it goes well, you exchange numbers and you communicate. So I'm not surprised, but she called him later on, she called him a thread in her life after a week of texting or something. So that's also a little alarming to me, Monica.
Yeah, I was wondering if she meant like a text thread in her life or if it was like that serious, but I think it is that serious for her.
I think she thinks it's that deep. I mean, we all saw her at the end of the episode, but again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. She is getting ready to meet Bruno, who she has been preparing to see since before she even came to the country. So she is excited to meet him, but she does definitely have Bernardo on her mind. So she puts herself in some pigtails because they're going rollerblading. And,
I thought that was an interesting choice too. I'm like, okay, girl.
It was something.
I think it was Bruno appropriate, to be honest with you. I got a couple thoughts on Bruno and, but.
Yeah. So Louisa thinks that Bruno and Monica are a better match than Monica and Bernardo are. She says that she thinks that they can build a more mature relationship and that Bruno kind of is more aware of what he wants in the future, which, I mean, based on what he said in the date, I can agree with that. But I mean, they're both fine.
Yeah, I think she kind of shot herself in the foot a little bit with that. I know what she was trying to do with Bernardo was kind of like a test date, I guess, kind of like what a lot of these matchmakers do. Like she didn't want to put her on the real date yet, but I think that it kind of almost backhanded her because now Monica's super focused on Bernardo and now she's super conflicted and she's gonna have all these feelings. And I don't know. I just think either they should have had a shorter date if that's what the goal was, is just like a little pop-up date just to see how she handles asking the tough questions or whatever. But Monica,
I think they were supposed to have a short date, her and Bernardo. They were supposed to just do the foot volley, and then they ended up doing hotels and drinks and kissing.
Monica does everything she's not supposed to do, but like
she does. And she kind of, I'm starting to question her a little bit. I'm gonna reserve judgment so far. I'd like to see more, but I'm starting to question, she says in all these confessionals and interviews and to her matchmaker, she comes across as sort of innocent and naive, and I haven't dated in a while, but she seems to be doing really well, meeting these guys. And like, I don't know, like I get that she has all this guilt, but I don't know. I'm just starting to question her a little bit. She's on my radar.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Luisa thought that she maybe needed that extra date in, but I think Monica does very well on dates, and maybe most
Yeah.
people don't. This is what we do
Right.
see the
Right.
show a lot, but Monica is pretty seasoned at, like, dating. She can get anybody to like her, and I get that because, like, I remember when I was dating a lot, that's kind of how a lot of my dates were, was very, like, conversation and, like, the conversation never really dried up kinda thing. So, I get that, but I think that Luisa didn't understand that Monica was like that. So, she coulda
Yeah.
just started with Bruno even though if that was her goal, was to get her with Bruno in the end. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So in walks Bruno, and he's pretty impressed with what he sees. He thinks that Monica's really pretty. I mean, Monica is really pretty, so I'm not surprised. He
Mhm.
has an interesting kind of personality that comes out right away. He's sort of childlike a little bit to me.
Yeah,
He's
I thought
something.
he was, like, kinda almost flamboyant in a way, like, I I mean, he's nice. I think he's very nice, but I do think he's, like, weird or awkward. Like, there's something about Bruno. Like, we don't talk about Bruno, but there's something about Bruno that I just can't
Yeah.
put my finger on. Like, he's just, I don't know. I guess I'll talk about this more when their date progresses later, but there's just
Hmm.
some awkward moments with him. I do think he had good answers for her. Yeah, I think he helped her well with the skates and stuff. But Monica also, her laughing all the time and being like, she was so weird on this date too. Like, I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it seems like they had a good enough date. Like they did get words across. It wasn't like they were just constantly laughing. Um, if anyone's watching Plathville these days, right now, Lydia and her soon to be husband, all they do is laugh. There's no monologue dialogue between the two of them. They literally just giggle and dance, and it is weird AF. And I would have so much judgment, except I watched a 3-hour podcast where they talk about their relationship in actual words with minimal giggling. But for some reason on that damn show, all they do is laugh, and it's so bizarre. So it's not as bad as that, but it's pretty bad. I mean, she was, burying her head in his chest and, all this stuff after they kissed. And I just feel like if you're being so direct later on with Bernardo, why not be direct with Bruno about what you're going through
yeah.
instead of so weird and then all of a sudden be like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching a date with middle schoolers and not 40-year-olds, honestly. Like, it felt very
True.
childish.
I will say I did appreciate how quickly the important information came out on this first
Mhm.
date. She shared
Yeah.
really quickly about her daughter, what she did in her first date, but then he asked about kids, and there was a little brief confusion about, do you want some more? And she thought he
Mhm.
was talking about rollerblading, but he was talking about children, but she quickly clarified that. But it was like for Bernardo, that was a whole buildup and oh my gosh, do I tell him? Do I not tell? Like this just happened in public while they were rollerblading. It happened organically and easy, and then they could move on. And he was very clear. He's not looking for a baby mama. He's looking for a wife.
Yeah. I mean, I would think, honestly, once you get to your 40s, I couldn't really imagine wanting to uproot my whole life and have, like, a newborn baby either. Not saying that that doesn't
That's why
happen
I
for
feel like
people.
Bernardo probably doesn't really know what he wants because if he knew what he wanted, he would be realistic with himself about where he's at. Not
He
so
might
like,
be
oh, I'll
getting
have
there.
kids. Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
I feel like for men, they do seem to, like, want kids. I mean, it's easier for them to want kids because they don't have to push them out, according to some of the webinars I've been in. But it's so, like, I think maybe that's, like, the regular thing to want, but I think also when Monica talked about traveling and stuff, I think he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to not want kids either." So, I can see maybe being a little bit wishy-washy on that, but I don't think that Bernardo doesn't know what he wants at all. Like, Luis is almost making it
Right.
seem like the man's a 30 or 40-something-year-old, 20-year-old, like, or something.
Right. True. But I mean, he could be. He could be.
I guess we'll see, right? I don't know. But I also feel like Monica's very, like, young at heart as well. So,
Definitely. Well, I think that's what she's attracted to Bernardo about is she doesn't need a serious person in her life.
mhm.
Like they
Yeah,
can have fun. It
look at
doesn't
them
seem like she needs-
pigtails.
Right. She's not Sarah. I mean, she doesn't need to be financially supported and a family. And, Sarah needs all this stuff. Like, Monica just wants someone to go rollerblading with and go running and enjoy traveling. It's pretty easy.
And her dogs and cat.
And her dogs. Oh, gosh. She needs to bring her dogs up soon here. Or people are
she
going
needs
to
to talk
get
about
too far in.
She needs to talk about how she talks to them, maybe mimic a conversation.
Maybe FaceTime her dogs with the date. I feel like, so spoiler alert, later on for the season, we get a more to come for the trailer at the end. And Louisa is apparently at some point going to invite Bernardo and Bruno into the same place with Monica and have her make this weird big decision. And I feel like that should be the time that she FaceTimes her dogs and she talks to them. And then whichever one doesn't leave can be the one.
Honestly, that would be the best test at the end. That would make them both coming there make more sense to me, because I feel like you can make that decision without looking these people directly in the face and then go tell them later. I don't know. It did seem a little intense, but anyways, let's move to the next. Who's next again? Is it Harold?
It is Harold, yes. They take a little selfie, they sit down, and we get to Harold in the back of the cab, and they're going from their little eating extravaganza where he had the pig ears that he loved, and now they're going to go fly some kites. And they have a little bit of awkward conversation in the back of the cab, but it does progressively get a little bit better. But I just thought it was so funny. He asked her about herself more deeply, I guess, but really just wanted to know the basics. He wanted to know where she was from and stuff like that. So she shares all of that. And then he says, oh, okay, it's my turn. And then he says, I'm Harold.
I know, I laughed. I was
she didn't know his name.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm Harold. And it's well, she's been on a date with you for about at least 2 hours now. I think, or an hour or something. I think she knows your name by now. But it was cute.
I want to know how this cab driver is holding in his laughter, because I would be cackling.
Just who was it? Sarah, when she talked about, oh, well, everybody lives with their mom out here. The cab driver was like, what?
I think she should be utilizing that cab driver a lot better than she is right now, as a good read and thermometer on, what's normal. Hey, this guy told me this. Is that a normal thing? Where would you take a girl on a first date? What if someone took someone there? What would you all think about that?
Yeah. Ask some questions.
Yeah. No, Sarah is just, we'll get there. But so anyways, back to Harold. He reintroduces himself as Harold now for the second time. And then he also, they hold hands. And this went a lot better than last time.
Yeah, well, he asked to touch. He's like, can I get a touch?
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's what Dolly meant by just a light touch. I think she just meant just do a light pat or whatever. You don't have to ask, but
which he did with her earlier.
Originally,
a real organic light touch.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, okay, well, we can hold hands. And I think, though, with Harold asking her these basic questions, he didn't get that far with Cheesy. She really was giving absolutely nothing. So I think even the basics is pretty deep for Harold right now. But as they hold hands, I forget her name, but she says that his hands are chubby and feel like a sponge. And at first, she gives me mixed signals too, because she says stuff like this. And then she's like, but it was very comfortable. And I'm like, girl, what do you want? I can see why Harold's confused.
I mean, I think chubby in the US has so much more of a negative connotation. I still think it has a negative connotation in Asian culture, but I think it's more of cute and cuddly when people say chubby. I think fat is still a mean thing if you're saying it to somebody, but I think chubby is more of a teddy bear.
I mean, I can see that. She did enjoy holding his hand, which I thought was a great step forward. But she does kind of give a little bit of mixed signals, but
Totally.
But they also get their selfie on their date. It's really cute. He takes her to go fly some kites. and they both haven't flown kites probably since they were young, but they are enjoying this.
Poor Harold is missing his suspenders because he's about to lose his pants.
Yeah, and he says that it also would have been more stylish.
No, I
Just love
kind
him
of
for that.
agree. I'm not used to seeing Harold, in shorts and an untucked shirt like that. I thought he was a little bit casual.
Yeah, I kind of like this look that he's got going on right here. I think this is really nice, like Bill Nye the Science Guy attire.
Yeah. I
And like
do like this
watching him,
sleeper.
yeah,
Go ahead.
watching him in those socks and the sneakers and the shorts and stuff. Like my brother kind of dressed like that too, and I get it because he's also autistic and stuff. But it's interesting, it's not super flattering for Harold, and him just like holding his pants up as he's running. I was like, God bless him. Like
I know.
he's really trying here to not lose his pants. Like someone should have gave him a belt at least.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, why not
But
get the belt? This is suspenders of the waist.
I mean, I'm guessing he had a belt, but when I have a chubby waist myself, and I feel like the belt when I'm standing versus the belt when I'm sitting are two different belt sizes. It's just
I can respect that. Okay.
not me.
So yeah, so they have a fun time with the kites. He calls her attractive, and I think she's still trying to build that attraction, but she says it's buildable. So I do like her. I like that she's very upfront about those kinds of things and that she's willing to be open instead of
Right.
kind of shutting down like Cheesy did. I felt like Cheesy just knew he wasn't her type, so she just kind of shut down to begin with. And I think he's having a much better time with, do you know her name? I don't remember the date names ever.
I don't.
I don't know, but I really like her. I wish I
have notes from last time. I bet I have her name here.
Okay.
Amber. Her name's Amber.
Is it Amber? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So him and Amber decide to sit down for a picnic. But I think do they cut us here or do they kind of show a little bit of it?
They sit down for the picnic, and Harold is starting in the confessional as they're setting it up to sort of contemplate how he wants to connect with her more deeply. And then he brings up the idea that he's probably going to share that he is autistic, but they do cut us there. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty bold of him on the first date because he hasn't done that before on a first date. And I do think it's important that people know that. I think if he's comfortable to say it, I think it's really important that she or anybody he continues to date know that and can accept him for who he is, even with the suspenders, Like I do think it's nice that he doesn't wear them on the first dates, but I think he can work those in. Like that's who he is. And I think someone like her
change himself.
Yeah, I think someone like her is a lot more open-minded to that kind of stuff. So she might think it's cute.
I think that's exactly why Dolly set them up together too. So I have a lot of hope for this to go well.
I think so does
we'll
Harold.
see how. Yeah, we'll see how the news gets.
But now over to my arch nemesis Tony. He is in Brazil and he is meeting up with Luisa for his first date. And he finds out that it's going to be a blind date because obviously it's going to have to be. This man only cares about physical crap. And it's so infuriating, especially when you're at that big old age, you're that bald, you got nothing physical to offer somebody. Why are you harping on a woman's physicality for her to look like a damn supermodel? Like, calm the hell down.
You just came for that man.
Well, I mean, come on. The man doesn't even have a lick of hair on his head. He's got a tattoo and hair follicles, but he wants to be upset that a woman doesn't have hair past her titas. Like, no. This is why he's single. And then the things he gets so judgmental about in these dates, just like, oh my gosh, like even my husband screamed from the other room, where do they find these people?
I agree. I will use this word every time that we talk about him. The man is insufferable. He's actually terrible. I am not a fan. Don't think I'll ever be a fan. And yes, obviously he needs to have blind dates because even in the blind dates, he be given physical attributes, saying the things he wants. I could not believe. Okay, well, let's real quick. These are the dates. Any initial thoughts on the dates? There's this touchy-feely girl who has long enough hair. There is the girl that he would probably choose, but we find out would quickly be a no. And then there's this girl who seems like, you know, a little bit in the middle, probably would be his best potential match, but is the wrong look.
Yep, the wrong hair length. She, in fact, is the one that asked him what he's looking for in a woman, and all he names is physical, 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 and it's
And
just
that
so
turned her
awful.
off.
That would
Yeah,
turn
she said
anyone
that,
off.
says he's insecure, and I think she's spot on. I think this woman seems centered and healed and happy. She should run far away from him.
Oh yeah, everyone should. I mean, I do not see he would have to do some real internal work to be a
Yeah.
suitable match for anyone at this point, especially a self-actualized woman, somebody like he would need somebody who is insecure, has long like all these qualities, but maybe is like 18 years old and insecure or something because I don't understand. But he even gets
Is
judgmental
this
about
the
this
woman
girl,
you're
which
speaking about?
so he gets judgmental about her, which I thought at first they would probably be like who he picks because like they seem to have been getting on pretty well. But once he asks her, you know, how long have you been single? She says 5 years. He's like amazed. And I'm like, man, how long have you been single? Like, calm the hell down. And then he gets up, he's like, oh, so you've been celibate for 5 years. Like, he's not a full adult, realizing that other full adults can't have relate like I don't understand that like you're not super religious here, sir.
Exactly. That is the weirdest, most bizarre, strangest thing I've ever heard. And I think the producers were even trying to call him out on it when he said this because they asked, well, how long have you been celibate? And he basically said no comment because I think they were trying to say, oh, so you can thought and bop, but they can't thought and bop. You also have this double standard for them.
Or you really haven't been getting it for like years at all. I mean, I could go either way with him.
That this beautiful woman that you're asking for also hasn't been, you know, out here living her life. I mean, I understand having some standards, but this whole idea of like it seems like he kept asking her, well, why are you single? Why haven't you gotten in a relationship?
Yeah, he asked them all that.
When she said she also wasn't. Yeah, when she said she wasn't in a relationship since COVID either, so basically the same amount of time. And it seems like he's trying to push these women into being in a relationship so that they can get their physical needs met, you know, so to speak. And I think that is the weirdest thing. Y'all aren't married. It's not like, you know, the celibacy thing and this you should be in a relationship or you shouldn't be hooking up with people. That is strange. Like, what is the difference between someone saying, I'll date you consistently and not? I just don't get that. Why do you have to be together?
He doesn't know if those were situationships, if those were like talking situations, or they just never put a label on. Like, the thing is true celibacy usually goes along the lines of like, I'm not gonna do that until I'm married or something, not till I'm in my next relationship. I mean, I guess you can put whatever rules on it you want, but you can't dictate other people's rules on it. I just think that that's so weird for him to be like, I'm more conservative than that. So basically, he wants a celibate woman that has long hair, like all these just weird things, long hair, good physique, even though he's got a pot belly. And
he wants a woman who looks like her, but is celibate, ready to make his own children, not any children beforehand, has none of her own goals, and accepts that.
Well, and she has a 1.5-year-old. I would be more concerned about that than somebody having sex.
He was concerned about that, but again, for the wrong reason. He says, I don't see how having a child and being a DJ can be the same thing.
Like, children don't sleep at night.
Right. I think that that's probably a wonderful job for a mom.
Yeah, I mean, if she's got like a mother or an auntie or something that can sit at the house with the baby while she goes and DJs in the middle of the night, she comes back, she has the whole rest of the day with her kid. I mean, this man just knows nothing about nothing. He just lives in some tiny box that he's created and decides what's right and what's wrong and what's confusing and what's not. It's like he's done zero research on women at all. He's done zero workshops, zero therapy. The man needs a lobotomy. I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't with him. I don't know how Luisa's keeping it together. And then at the end of this, he's supposed to pick one of these girls to go on a date. And I already know he's not going to pick any of them. And none of them would go on a date with him again either. None of them.
Agreed.
So it's on to Sarah, yeah, who also is a little bit difficult sometimes to watch. But she is meeting up with Dolly to kind of talk about her last date. And in the cab, as we talked about earlier, she does mention that to her mom that, oh, well, all guys here live with their moms. And I couldn't help but cackle as the cab driver made that face. I just thought it was hilarious.
I wish he would have offered his opinion. I get that it's not his place. I get that. It's an
I wish she could have seen his face even. Like,
so she could ask.
Yeah, I think that she had this expectation. Like, honestly, my true thought on Sarah is that she's just doing this show to do this show and get some kind of something from it. So then this way she can find her match later on after the show with some American guy that has a lot of money or whatever. Kind of like how people on Love is Blind be these days. But like, I do think that she thinks by choosing Singapore, she thought that all these men are doctors or well put together, because there is that stereotype of Asians are super smart. They all have super successful careers. And I think she plays into that stereotype, but she doesn't realize it. Yeah. And I don't think she realizes that she gives off her own stereotype of like dumb blonde that needs lip injections and Chanel and fake boobs.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So Dolly takes her to the fruit market so that they can talk about the date that she had with this guy, which, she doesn't say anything bad about the guy, just that it wasn't what she expected. But I think Dolly is taking her to this fruit market as like an illustration of what she's trying to do in her real life, which is making her try new things that she doesn't think that she would really like right away. She asks her if she wants to try this fruit. She says she's trying to give men that are the exact opposite of what she's used to. And then, what do you know? She likes the fruit. I think that Dolly's trying to do the same thing in her life.
Yes. I do like that her mom is there to kind of buffer between them, because she is also, she's playing a good middleman, where Sarah's saying, she wants stability. And this is why Freddie doesn't work for her, is because he doesn't have any stability for like a child and a family, which I get that. I get that there needs to be some stability there. You don't really want the dude that's living on an artist salary and living with his mom or whatever. Like, I don't think the mom's even really as big of an issue, but that's neither here nor there. But I do think that she has a point in, I want somebody who's not in government assisted housing, that I want somebody who's more established. I get that. But I also think she does need to compromise on how she's presenting herself. Not so much like I don't mind what makeup she's wearing, but as Dolly's saying, she's dripping in brand. So that is sometimes off-putting to somebody who's just, who's making a decent living, but can't keep up with those brands. And I know she says that she expects her new mans to be able to buy these things for her, because if she can do it, he can do it. And it's like, then you just keep doing it. And also, I mean, you just told us like in the beginning of this that you only have one heartbreak left in you. How come we've got 5 more years to compromise? Like,
it's a very good question. That's a very good question, Miss.
What timeline are we on?
I think you made a really good point too, as Dolly, originally made the point about these brands. It's not trying to be judgmental about what she wears or what she likes, but she could very well be having men that she would like, that could provide her a good life, checking them own selves out because of what she's wearing, knowing I want to provide for a woman, but I cannot provide that for a woman.
Yeah, I can't provide
so
that
I think
much.
What she's presenting to them without even communicating is, I'm out of your league. And what she wants is someone that's right in that kind of league, that's, not flashy. I mean, I'm sure she'll take someone flashy, but she needs someone who's not flashy, but has that same value that they want to,
Yeah, it sounds
care
like what
for.
she really wants is a sugar daddy that's willing to knock her up. I mean, I don't that's just the vibe, you know.
I think that's what she's willing to settle for in 5 years.
Yeah, although she's only got one heartbreak left in her. I'm gonna hold her to that. Like, girl, you better
So
only
you're
have
about to be, I don't know what you're about to be, but the first bonus scene that happened in the More to Love scene happened right here, right now.
okay.
So what happened was, here it starts. So this is when Dolly brings up the whole idea about the apparel, and her mom starts to agree with Dolly and sort of take Dolly's side a little bit more. And she also takes some accountability for the fact that Sarah is very picky. And she says that they didn't realize her and her dad unknowingly established such high expectations through having the marriage that they had, because her dad was pretty well off in their career before they even had children. So they were able to have the homemaker, breadwinner kind of thing. And that, up until he died, they did have this, great relationship. And then she was able to, do better for herself. So she said they didn't realize at the time that they were kind of creating this picky monster. But she says, I know that she's very picky and she does
Yeah.
need to, change her standards a little bit. So every time mom shows up, it seems like her and Dolly are just more and more on the same page.
I think it's good that she's there. I think she can give that insight that Dolly is looking for, because Sarah is very kind of has a wall up
Defensive.
about this stuff.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
defensive AF.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I do like that, but I can see it's fine to be picky. Like, you can be picky to an extent, but I think you also have to be
Mhm.
realistic at the same time.
Yes.
If what
And
you're
that's
looking for.
Dolly and her mom's point. Exactly.
Oh,
Hey, Joe.
hello, Joe. She is too much like that weird guy, Tony. Kinda like I can say they both have very unreasonable expectations to a point. I think Tony's a lot worse, but I
Right.
do think that they have unreasonable expectations. And her mom does look younger than her. I agree with you, actually. I think it's
Her
just
mom
all the
looks
Botox.
great.
Her mom looks
Yeah.
great. It reminds me of like how my mom has aged. Like, I'm sure this woman gets a little bit of filler, maybe like on the
Yeah.
forehead or whatever, but she does like her lips aren't overblown. She doesn't look like a doll. Like, I just feel
She
like,
knows
yeah,
that she still needs to look natural because she's older, so she doesn't overdo it, whereas
yeah.
Sarah just lets it loose.
Oof. Yeah, especially when you go back to that one picture, like from the bonus scene with her
This
and
one?
her mom,
Oh. This
the
one?
one where Sarah's looking. Yeah, that one. Go back. No, the one where Sarah's looking. Yeah,
This
that
one.
one. She does look a lot older than her mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
true. I
Oh,
know.
man. I agree with you, Joe. I agree.
I
Look
mean,
at,
it's also not the greatest quality of photo, but no, it either way. I mean,
yeah, she looks like her mom's older sister or something.
it's the eyes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I feel like she doesn't need all that. She could be a very beautiful girl on
Yeah.
her own. I wonder what she looked like before, like the lip, because the lips, this is just this thing I have. Like, I'm an esthetician or whatever. I'm fine with a little bit of filler, but like, people really overdo their lips now, and it just looks so bad to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just my personal thing, but I just like the overdone lips is just. I bet she had perfectly fine lips before, like her mom does.
Even if she had real thin lips, you don't need to do this.
It's just so much. I feel like
Fill them to a natural, whatever.
I think the other Botox looks fine. Although the cheeks look puffy almost, like her face is about to explode. But
And her nose is real tweaked.
Oh yeah.
It's just
But the
real.
mhm.
She's
And I
pretty.
think
I don't want to, say that she's not. But yes, her
she
mom
is.
looks younger than her, and it has everything to do with the work that she's done. And, you say this a lot on our channel, and I think you're absolutely right that people need to wait to do this stuff. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but like her mom probably waited until an appropriate age and got an appropriate amount of, fillers in. And so she looks
Yeah.
her age, but refreshed and nice. And
Mhm.
Sarah just doesn't look her age. She just looks unnatural and
It's giving
bizarre.
Kylie Jenner because Kylie started getting all these fillers when she was a teenager, so she's gonna have to keep up on that for the rest of her life to
Yeah.
keep that elastin in. Because that's the thing, we lose that. We lose collagen and elastin when our skin doesn't feel the need to produce it anymore because you're pumping it into your face. So I always say
Right.
to people, like, at least wait till your 30s to do
Yeah.
Botox and all that because your skin is actually in fine condition. Just like get a good facial routine, get a good skincare product. You will see better results that way than you will injecting yourself with Botox, unless there's a true medical reason for it, which for some people there
Sure.
is, or like
Mhm.
there's always a case, right? But I just feel like people are overdoing it right now, and they're really going to regret it when they're in their 60s and they don't
Yeah.
look at all like natural. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's my rant. But anyways, so
Yes. So Sarah is annoyed. She also has this feeling that, her dream guy is right around the corner, so she shouldn't settle. Da 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 da. Okay.
I guess, but that's what made me think, like, is she just on the show until right after the show where she hopefully meets somebody via social media or via like her quote unquote fame, which like this show is not the most popular, as you can all tell by our views on this. But
Mhm.
it's not super popular, but it is something to get her up. I mean, she's not on a Netflix show. She ain't gonna go on Perfect Match or anything after this, but I do
Could be a
wonder if
stepping
she
stone.
thinks yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly. I do wonder if she thinks more is going to come of this and she can
Yeah.
get more reality TV or whatever. And then hopefully she'll meet a guy that way. I don't know. I just don't really like, I don't see her taking this like super seriously if she's not willing to do any work on herself. Like, and I don't mean like fucking work. I mean like, work internal.
Yeah, I don't even know if work is necessary. Like she just, like Dolly is saying, she just needs to compromise. And we're not saying throw away all your standards. Like just
No.
compromise, prioritize, those kinds of things are important. Joe
Yes.
loves it.
Loves it. Loves it. Spot on. Beautiful.
It's true.
Yes. It's true.
He's very right about Sarah here.
Yeah. So
So
back
on to
over to Monica.
Monica. I
Yeah,
love how Monica calls herself Monica when she's in Spain.
I know she's right. She did it with Bernardo too, like Monica. Like she's really
She
trying
gives
her.
the accent to them.
Mhm.
I would do that too. Basically, she lives in Spain.
She's living there right now. She's a resident.
Yeah,
So she's eating these as empanadas or what? She compared it to an empanada, but they look good. I kind of wanted one.
I know. I want one really bad.
I don't know what they were filled with, but it looked delicious.
I love
But they
all kinds of Mexican food.
But they kind of get more into conversation and they get more touchy with each other. I just felt, I don't know, maybe I'm me, but I kind of like her date with Bernardo better. I just felt like it was more mature and it just wasn't all weird. Like, I don't know, there's something with this guy. Like, is he
He's childlike to me. He gets this shyness a little bit, like she says something about, what are you looking for in a future? And he does this heart thing. And again, she's
Yes.
acting weird too. I mean, the heart thing in itself was weird, but I know there could be a language barrier, and maybe that's part of what's coming across strange about him. But he does this heart thing, and he says, like, not eggs, but love. And she's just freaking out herself about all of it. It's just like, obviously he is meeting you and dating you. He said in his video that he's looking for something serious. You've asked him about 6 or 7 times what he's looking for now. Why do you keep yourself responding so strangely and giggly and weird? But he does. So she, does the whole, oh my gosh, love, wow, crazy. And then he gets all, oh, okay. He like makes this sad panda thing. And then she has to, do this. It's just, it is weird. It is weird.
Yeah.
I am open to seeing a more formal date at a dinner, but it is weird.
Yeah, I guess was a weird taste in my mouth.
He seems like the guy who could be nice at first, but then kill his spouse in a couple of years. Based on those sad panda reactions, like I'm kind of getting the same thing. It's like, you've hurt me too many times.
Yeah, but maybe also they're a perfect match because between like all like the sad panda and the this and the maybe and her talking to her dogs, maybe they're just perfect for each other. Maybe Luisa sees something we don't. But yeah, I kind of agree with that statement. I do feel like there's something weird about this, and maybe I'm wrong. We're only seeing a snippet of all this, but even to me, the kiss was weird, like the way he just got closer and closer and closer.
Yeah,
At least Bernardo
it was very
asked.
abrupt.
Yeah, Bernardo asked before he did it, and he just like got closer and closer and closer. And I was like, well, so much for what Luisa said.
True, I know. It was super abrupt, and also to me, it looked a little sloppy, but she seemed to love it. She said that she could have kissed him all night.
Is it normal for men to wear rings on their pointer fingers?
I noticed that myself, but he has a lot of jewelry. He had a watch. He had several bracelets on. So I don't know. He's also got that sleeve. I mean, maybe he's just.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe there's a reason
He
this
has
man
that
is
panda face.
Yeah, I just feel like there might be he's a little pushy to me. Like I feel like maybe there's a reason this man is 40 and not married, or you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that like that's always the case, but it just feels like he was kind of pushy with her. He wanted her to go on a date again. He said, maybe we go to dinner tomorrow. She says, well, I don't know what my plans are, meaning like maybe not, like let's just see. I do want to see you again, but maybe not tomorrow, basically. And he's like, so tomorrow. And she says, well, I'm also seeing somebody else. She even lets him know I'm also seeing somebody else as well. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. And all these things. And he says, so I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm just like, what?
I understand being persistent. I think in some cases, like some persistence can be, attractive and sexy. Like that shows that you know what you want. But yeah, he already shot his shot and she didn't shoot him down. She just said, I gotta like check my schedule, basically.
Yeah. And honest, I don't know. I don't feel like this date was as good as the one with Bernardo because I feel like it would have lasted longer. They easily could have went out to a real dinner after, just like she did with Bernardo. Like she wanted to continue that date, and it seemed like she actually wanted to get out of this one. I think when you're in the moment, whatever. Yeah, I feel like when you're in the moment, it's like kind of hard to tell those things. But I think from the outside looking in, I could just tell that what is this face of hers? I just feel like she could have, like
this was how she felt. This was her face. Listen, so we have the kiss, right? They kiss. Immediately after the kiss, he's sad panda. She's weird butt
monkey
mouth,
or something.
And then crying. It's like, I get that Bruno might have something up with him, but I think Monica might have something up with her too. I mean, you kissed this man. We all saw how consensual it was. You said you loved it. And then the second you get done kissing this man, I get that you're thinking about Bernardo in the back of your head, but like it is not that serious. And suddenly you can't speak. You start crying. You give this strange face every time he talks about wanting to see you more. Like imagine what Bruno is thinking. Like what kind of mixed signals is this woman giving me?
I don't think he saw this part though. I'll give her that credit, but
no, he didn't. But he did see this when he's talking about like meeting.
I will say, I feel like I like Bernardo better because at least when she was out with Bernardo, it made me think of her as more normal. Like now I'm kind of like, wow, this lady is a little bit
That is a fantastic point. Yeah, she the Bernardo brings out the stability in her, whereas Bruno brings out this weird thing. But I don't know, maybe it's just the pigtails.
I know. I need to
I,
see them on one other date or something. I need
I
to
do
know,
need to see
like, if
them on
this
one
is.
other date, like a more serious adult like date.
Yeah, I need more from this.
Yeah,
Um,
I think my husband's
but
about to come home. The dog's gonna bark. So
okay,
sorry about
well,
that, Joe.
we'll power through it. So,
Yeah.
um, so we're
Back
back
to
over to
Harold.
Harold. Yes, and he does end up telling her about his autism. She asks him what he's looking for in a wife, and he tells her the things that freaking other Chad Tony man should be saying.
Exactly.
Independent but caring, somebody who's patient with him because he has autism. And she didn't even flinch at that. She just nodded. And I think she was, I mean, later when she talks about it in the confessional, she says that, had he never said anything, she wouldn't have even noticed that he's autistic. She does know it's a spectrum. So
Yeah.
she's like, I don't know where he falls on that, but he seems like I wouldn't even know, like he's pretty high functioning. So I do
Yeah.
think that that was the perfect reaction for Harold. Um, and it was very encouraging. Like she's very open to still seeing Harold despite her not
Yeah.
having an initial physical attraction to him. And I think that that's important sometimes, that especially,
I
what
agree.
she's saying, she's looking for a husband and she's looking for somebody to have all these interests the same and everything and I really just I like her. I think that she's very realistic.
I like her a lot too. I think she's a really good fit for Harold, because she's open and accepting about the autism thing. It just almost like she was completely unfazed. But she's also open with the lack of attraction. She's open with the little bit of awkwardness that comes with their communication. She even said earlier, I'm not sure if this is in the bonus scene that's coming up or if this is in the actual scene, but she
Mhm.
said the vibe between Harold and I is awkward, but the date is good. So I like
Yeah.
that she's able to separate those things and that they don't give her, the ick like everyone says.
Yeah, I think her being, in her late 30s, she's just dated a lot. And I think she knows the difference between a good date and a bad date, despite, how things can be weird at first, that you are coming from two different worlds. And I honestly think that this date went very, very well. I think Harold was very encouraged by it as well. I think he's really good for being autistic. He's really good at picking up on a lot of signals. I mean, he misses a lot for sure, but I do think
Yeah.
he is engaging and asking questions. He is talkative. He wants to continue conversations. And with somebody with
Yeah.
autism, I'm telling you, like, it's not that simple. If I text my brother, all I get is an okay or very
Yeah.
minimal things unless he wants to talk. So it
Right.
is hard to socialize when you are antisocial. And for
Yeah.
Harold is doing a great job in his 40s, to I'm sure it's taken him many years to get here, but I think he's doing a great job in his 40s to start conquering that and start facing that. So I just love him.
I love him too. I think he's great. And I think being unfazed, Amber is his date's name. She just kind of continues on and lets him know, hey, I'm interested in marriage. I think I'm a patient woman. People say that I'm a patient woman. I'm not out here just to have a casual date. In fact, I'm an only child, and everyone in my family, including my ex boss, is interested in me becoming married. So like let's get you introduced to these people.
Yeah, she tells him all the tests and stuff, which I think that was good for Harold to hear her expectations as well. It's something
Yeah.
like he says later, it's giving them more of a future goal. It's not like acting like this is the end all be all date. And I do
Yeah.
think that that was very encouraging on both sides. And, I do think that sometimes attraction and all that can grow, just like she says. I think I don't know, I think they're a good fit for each other. I'm interested to see where this goes because um I don't know, I just find it so cute. All the things he said, like about how, oh, like she gave me all these obstacles, but how can I fail with her by my side? I'm like, oh my God, Harold just like
I know. He really is swept up in this woman. He has definitely enjoyed this date. And I was really excited to see that the second bonus scene on the More to Love was Harold at the end of this date. So they do catch the cab ride home at the end as well. And the cutest thing ever happens. So Amber tells Harold that she has created a nickname for him, and he's shocked that she must be such a good nickname maker because it's only been a couple of hours and she already has one. So we're ready for the big reveal, and it's Teddy Bear. Of course.
Aww.
What else would it be? And as if that is not cute enough, this woman goes on to say, like, someone I would like to hug when I'm feeling sad. And then in the confessional talks about how she thinks that hugging him would make her feel better throughout her day. And I'm like, this woman is seeing her life with Harold, with this cute, chubby man who feels like a sponge that she can come home to and snuggle every day.
I love that for her. I really do. And for Harold, I think this is amazing. Honestly, I think this went better than Michaela. You know, like, I thought she was a little awkward. I think this girl is just great with him. And you know what?
She's still a little bit lukewarm, you know, but she is totally ready to keep the heat on.
Yeah, she's open, and I appreciate that about her. She's open to keep things going. She's not just sitting there like a lump on a log like Cheesy was. She's not just trying to get through the date. She's trying to enjoy the date. So I do appreciate that about her. And honestly, when you even compare Harold, who's got autism, to Chad, I mean, such like this other guy has no, I mean, if you ask me, he does, but no mental ailments or anything. But you know, has zero hair, nothing going for him, and he's got all these wild ass expectations. And you got someone like Harold who does have a good job. You know, he might be not physically fit, but he has a full head of hair. Chad, Tony,
sure does.
And yeah, and he's just so nice to his dates. He's so much more open. He can be attracted to a fly if he had to. Like, he's just happy to be there. And I like that they have these two guys in this season, because just the contradictions between them, and despite what Harold's got going on, is just amazing. Like, I would much rather be on a date with Harold than Tony.
Yeah. Same. 100% same.
Never even a thought. I'd pick him blindfolded. I'd feel for the top of the head. I'd be like, that one.
Yeah.
Or in the suspenders.
So anyone, right. So they are on their way back right now. Sorry if you can hear the dogs barking in the background. And
It's okay. We're almost.
But anyways, if anyone is familiar with me and Anne's first videos covering Harold in the first season, we all know that Harold gets out of the car backwards. And what we didn't know is that Harold also sometimes walks backwards. So he gets dropped off at his hotel, and as soon as he gets dropped off, we get a wonderful little
loneliness in my heart has been banished.
Backwards.
The loneliness in my heart has been banished.
Harold gets out of the car backwards, you guys. Still,
it is his signature.
Banished.
I cannot. You know, it's so, like, I wish we saw him like get out of the car backwards, because that whole fluid motion in the walk. I mean, the man's got eyes on the back of his head or something.
I know.
He's got great, you know, for somebody so chubby or whatever, he's got great, like, what is it, where you have like an idea of your physical surroundings or something. I don't know, but he's got good something.
He's got something, is what he's got.
He got something about him. Do you think this is the same cab driver for Sarah? Because they look alike.
I think they are this. I think Dolly hires them. So I do believe it's the same cab driver, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to be the cab driver on Harold's dates for sure.
And Sarah's dates.
I know, but Harold's is at least like heartwarming.
It's super cute. And like this whole teddy bear thing that he got to witness, and and Harold introducing himself as Harold to his date that he already went on a date with. It's classic. This man had a front row seat to the greatness.
Emmy winning Harold, yes.
Emmy winning
so
greatness.
We round off this episode with a guilt trip from Monica. She gets home and she just can't handle what's happened. She realizes she probably shouldn't have kissed Bruno, which duh. I mean, that's the only thing your matchmaker asked of you. Yeah. Right. I was gonna call her trainer, like her dog trainer. But
it basically is her trainer. I don't really equivalent this whole, she says she feels like she's cheating. I mean, I guess I don't know how much she's been texting Bernardo and what content she's been texting Bernardo, but regardless, it's been a week, okay? I don't know about cheating. I mean, maybe a little bit of, like, I can appreciate if you have some moral or values that go against this, but yeah, cheating.
It's been a week since she's been on a date and then been texting this man. What's Louisa been doing? Holding this girl up in her room or something? Like she's Rapunzel?
I shouldn't say it's been a week. I'm just saying at most it's been a week. It could have been 3 days, honestly. Okay. But yeah, it's been less than a week for sure because she's not Rapunzel. She's got to be going on these dates. So it's been less than a week and she feels like she's cheating on Bernardo. Y'all are not in a full-fledged relationship. You've been on one single date. You kissed this man one single time. You barely know anything about him. You don't even know if he really wants kids or not. He didn't actually answer that.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe we'll see. You never know about the future. I like to travel.
Yeah, I think he was a little wishy-washy, but I also think, it's a lot of, maybe she can get more of that out on another date. But yeah, as you're saying, they've been on one date. Yes, they've been texting, but it's not cheating in the sense of actual cheating. You kissed another man, sure, but he knows, as Bernardo should know, that you're here with a matchmaker trying to find a match. Like, you probably will go on multiple dates. I don't think Bernardo ever said, don't see anybody but me. I don't know what they're texting, but I kind
of suspect that this is being made out to be a bigger cliffhanger than it actually is. I know at the end he says, he doesn't say much. And then he says, what can I say? Or, what do you want me to say? Basically. But I don't think he's going to be as upset as she is upset at herself. I think he's saying, what can I say? Like, I knew that you were going on dates and, us Brazilian men, we like to kiss women. I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't really want to talk about it, but
like, why are you calling me about this? Like, you could have kept this to yourself.
You and I were so hopeful that she was calling someone appropriate, like her daughter or her mother or the matchmaker. But no, you're calling the man you went on one single date with to cry about him, that you had a great time with another man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like for me, if I was Bernardo, this would be a little bit of a red flag. Like, wow, this woman can't even keep herself together. Like, at least, she'd be loyal to be in a relationship. But damn, I mean, and you're right, Joe. So dramatic. Like, it's just, I think she could have at least, like, I feel like she went from one thing to the other. She could have at least took a shower, like, unwind a little bit, take a few moments to think about things, maybe smoke a joint or something.
Wait for the next day.
Yeah, just take some time before you start calling this man in a panic.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that means that she likes Bernardo a little bit more because of her reaction to kissing Bruno. I mean, that's just my, thought, because obviously they've been texting something. I don't know what they've been texting, but it seems like she's built up more of a connection with Bernardo, that obviously she feels like she is cheating on him or whatever the case. And like I said, well, I've been cheated on before, whatever. Girl, I feel like everyone has. But I mean, you don't have to act like a nutcase because you kissed men that you're not dating. Like, technically.
Right. I think, and it kind of goes without saying, she doesn't need to be transparent with him fully in the fact that she gives every detail about what happened on the date. I'm pretty sure he probably knows you're here to date. Maybe he even knew that you were going on a date because you weren't going to be available to text him, since you guys are texting all the time, apparently. It's
I wonder if she was texting him during her date. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
I thought about that immediately. As soon as she said, we have been texting all the time and he's become a threat in my life. What do you mean a thread in your life? So Did he know you were going on the date? Did he? I just, yeah, that's something that I would keep to myself if I were her. But, we're not all professionals at dating two men at once. I'm certainly not, but I do know this is probably not how to do it.
Yeah, I think that she could have at least let herself calm down before calling him. I mean, she even started the conversation in tears. She's just, "Hey, how are you doing?
Please just listen to me. I just can't
listen.
stand that. If someone
Just
called
listen
me
to
in
me."
a puddle of tears after going on a single date with me, telling me that they met someone else who's wonderful and great, and we had a good time and we kissed so many times, and now I feel bad, that is exactly what I would say. What do you want me to say to that? I have nothing to say. Make a decision about what you want. You want to go on another date and see if I'm all those things too? Cool. If not, enjoy the dude.
That's probably what he's going to say.
These are her decisions to make. Like,
Yeah, I mean, Luisa's like saying, maybe Bruno's more solid in what he wants and stuff, but I don't think Monica's very solid in what she wants. I think she's more on the line of Bernardo in a sense, if this is what I don't know. She's just a blubbering mess. She's just like, I just got to tell you something and I just need you to listen to me for one moment. I mean, you two are the only ones on the phone. I think if you're talking, he's listening to you. You don't have to tell him to listen to you for a minute while you confess something that's totally unnecessary at the moment. He knows you're on a show called Match Me Abroad. I'm sure he knows that you're going to go on multiple dates. I mean, you come around with a camera crew.
Right.
I mean, we can't forget that part. They're not just like flies on the wall. But
so true. We do end up getting a big trailer, a big teaser trailer for the rest of the season. So that's usually a sign that we're about halfway through.
Yeah.
This is episode 6, so that would kind of track. It wasn't, super explosive, but there was a couple of interesting things. But we are going to see, obviously, some more on Amber and Kevin. I'm not surprised about that whatsoever. But he seems to be getting a little bolder. He's going to make a wager about if he wins whatever game that they're playing, that Amber can only date him for the rest of the time. And so then we see enter this new guy that she's apparently been dating, and she tells us that they've been texting every single day since their first date. So
there's that. But yeah, and then we see her kind of freak out on somebody. I'm guessing it's not Kevin just because I just feel like he's so nice, but we haven't met this other guy yet, so I guess we'll give him a chance. But I was under the impression that she's yelling at this new guy, but she's just screaming things like about disrespect and stuff. So I guess we will see what happens there. But that's the most explosive thing to me in this whole recap was her screaming at somebody. Amber screaming like that
the
whole
end part. Yeah.
You don't talk to me that way, blah blah. I ain't gonna
Who do you think she's talking to?
I kind of think it's the new guy because I just can't imagine Kevin, nice little Kevin like that. But then again, who knows? I mean, we still have a few episodes to get through. So I don't know. We haven't met this other guy yet. He could be just as nice, but he kind of looks interesting to me, like a club douche.
He looks like he's from Jersey Shore.
Exactly. I see that, like a nightclub douche or something.
Yeah, he does. But so that's exactly why I think that she's yelling at him as well, because I can't see her getting that worked up about anyone else, like that emotional. Even if somebody, like a stranger, was mean to her, I don't see her breaking glasses and stuff. She doesn't seem that unstable.
Yeah,
she must have really had her feelings hurt.
Right. And if she was texting this guy every day, I feel like maybe she built up some kind of emotional connection, more so even than with Kevin.
I'm down to see what happened, though, because obviously something upset her, and I'm always here for the tea. But we're also going to see a little bit more of Harold and his Amber, go on a date, and she talks about doing the segs in a public toilet, and then she suggests that they should maybe try it. And I think not, first of all, but I want to see what Harold thinks.
Yeah, I think that was a little much. I mean, she went from saying that holding hands on a first date wasn't really
But she was
the best
pushing
thing.
the envelope.
Yeah, and then on the second date, she's talking about that or whatever date. I just think that that's interesting for one. We're not 12. We don't really need to, or I shouldn't say 12. We're not like 17. We don't really need to be fooling around in porta potties and toilets and things. Also, it's very unsanitary, and you just keep calling Harold chubby. Do you really think he can do all that in a? You really think that's gonna be comfortable for you guys? Like,
yeah, my mom just made the point the other day. She was like, I don't know what's been going on. And my mom hasn't gained a significant amount of weight or really any weight recently, but she came out from the bathroom when we were at the restaurant and she goes, I don't know what's been going on lately, but every time, whenever the stall and you open it inside, she's like, how the heck do people get in there? I have to like straddle the toilet to get into the stall. Like, you're right. Sometimes, especially when they open the way that the toilet paper roll is and you're kind of trapped in the corner right there and you're like gotta hop over the toilet. It's kind of an interesting thing.
I mean, I get having a little kink of like wanting to do something in public, whatever. I mean, to each their own, but I don't think a toilet would be like my first go-to. I mean, I get that it's more private, but I don't know. I mean, that's pretty bold, but especially for someone who is
Sarah
not wanting to hold hands, but whatever. No, you're good.
We're also going to see Sarah meet sort of like a juice head Guido looking guy. He looks a little, I don't know what he looks like yet. I guess we'll wait and see. But it seems like she has high hopes for this guy. My husband's ready for the line to win.
The change.
Just 30 seconds here. And so, so it seems, what was I saying? Oh, it seems like she's really excited about this date, and Dolly sits her down and is like, I'm on your side. I don't know if that actually means that there's going to be a bad date that goes on, but obviously something is going on that Dolly feels
maybe
to be on her side.
Maybe just picking the matches, like she's on her side, like she's not trying to completely give her something she doesn't want. I don't know. They always kind of zhuzh up these. Right. But anyways.
So we're also going to see, I talked a little bit about this earlier, but Monica's going to have to make a decision. And she tells Louisa basically that she doesn't want to make the decision. And Louisa says, fine, then I've invited both of them over because adults make decisions. And I get by that comment, adults make decisions, that maybe we're going to see some more childish behavior coming from Monica. And maybe Monica is the problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Possible. I wonder. I mean, I'm sure that either guy would be kind of sad if she doesn't pick them, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I think that they'll move on and find someone else. It's just been one date or a couple of dates at this point. Is that the way that Tyler walked out? Oh,
that's my husband,
yeah. If he would have been backwards, it would have been better.
Oh, yeah. You should walk backwards that way.
Walk backwards.
That way.
When you go sit at the couch, just do it backwards.
Yeah, do it all backwards. It's just part of it.
It's just part of the gig.
All right.
And then we can...
Anyway, so we're also going to see Victoria become really triggered by... Can you not do that right now, please? Just 30 more seconds. I'm sorry. We're going to see Victoria become really triggered by getting stood up, and it looks like she's leaving. I don't know if she's leaving in response to being stood up or if she's leaving because her time is up. It doesn't seem like she's got a whole lot of camera time or action. We haven't seen her in a couple of episodes, but obviously she's got a date to be stood up on. So I don't know if it's the first date she got stood up on or the second date, but she's triggered.
I mean, the woman needs therapy, so maybe she went back home to get that. And we also see Tony as well. He also is very upset with how things are going.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about that.
He tells Louisa that she's never met anyone like him. He cannot be put in a box. And he's not.
He's been putting himself in a box. He puts himself in the smallest spot.
Exactly. He has this teeny tiny little list of things that need to be there. And otherwise, he won't go outside of it. So you're absolutely right. He's putting himself in the box. Nobody.
He doesn't even care if the woman's a horrible person. Exactly. He doesn't even care if his woman's a horrible person as long as she's got long hair. Like, geez and rice.
It's really bizarre.
She could be a kleptomaniac, but at least she's got the physical body and.
But she can't be
hair.
a DJ. She can't not have been celibate. What?
It don't make no sense. But
It don't
anyway,
make no sense.
we're
All right,
looking
Chick Chat.
forward
My
to the
husband
rest.
has a football game to watch. Go Lions. We're winning the Super Bowl this season.
Yeah.
Woo! Woohoo.
We're looking forward to that, and we're also looking forward to the rest of the season of Match Me Abroad. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, click that share link, do all the things, copy the share link. I mean, you don't got to share it, but please do. It does help, but just copy it. Even that works. So, yep. Thank you all for joining us. We will catch you next week for the next episode of Match Me Abroad. And, stay walking backwards.
Stay walking backwards.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and goodbye, everybody. There he goes.